How do you choose your colours, they say? Come with me and I'll show you what I do. Just before we start, I have 3 other videos about colour. They are vlog number 15, which is about the Yarnsmiths haul that I had, and I put together some colour combos which I thought were really nice. Vlog number 17 is where you will find colours that I love, and vlog number 26 is more about colour. Now in those I did mention the colour wheel and some colour theory, but you know what? The best colours come out when you just blow those out the window and forget about them. Just go with your heart. Now I guess that sounds easier than it really is, but I'm going to try and explain to you this time how I go about choosing my colours. Now, I still have 4 questions that I always ask myself. Firstly, what is the project that I'm making? Because that can have a big effect on the colours that I would choose. Number 2, who is the project for? Because when I make a project for someone else, I like to know that I'm making it in the colours that they prefer, because that to me is a sign of love and care, because you care about what they think and how they feel with that particular item that you're going to gift them. Number 3 is, will the project need to match up with some home decor? If so, I would find out what those decor colours were and choose a colourway that's appropriate for that. Question number 4 is, what is the purpose of this project? Now, purpose can affect the yarn that you choose, be it cotton, wool, linen, alpaca, acrylic. Okay, so that will also determine what colours are available for you to use in each different yarn category. And again, if the project is for me, I also ask those same questions. My decision is based on what I'm making, what it will be used for, the style of the project. The style of the project is a big one, because to me, a style can have an effect on what I love in colour. And it's one of those things that I cannot explain. It's easy, but it's complicated. Maybe all of you aren't the same as me. I'm thinking there has to be a lot of you out there like me that have these complex layers that determine the reason we choose colours. How I come up with colours depend on what that project means. So with my temperature blanket, I came up with the greens, the blues and the browns, and the base being this neutral. Because me, in all my funny complex thoughts, absolutely loves to have parchment as a main colour in which I can work other colours around, because I love things to match. I really struggle doing random, totally and utterly make an absolute mess of random. And this is why, because things to me have to match, but they also have a reason why they match. Now, for a temperature blanket, temperature to me relates to nature, which is why I choose the trees, the sky, the sun. So all of these colours to me reflect what I consider to be nature. So that gives you a little indication into the machinations of my mind. How do you like that one? Are you as complex as I am? For me, it's not as easy as just pick some colours and they'll be fine. They have to have a meaning behind them. And that's probably the answer I'm looking for. A meaning behind the colour. All right, now let's get back to where we were. And then I begin by choosing a colour theme. And that's just where we've been. The theme. What is the theme behind this project? What is the reason for the project? Why would I choose certain colours for certain projects? All right, more on that soon. When a project doesn't have an obvious theme, I go to the colour that I like. I really like this pistachio colour. So then I think, what would I add to that? Always I go for some neutrals. All right, I would add this. I would add this. Let's move that up. I would add this purely because I like it. And then you can see here that these four, well, that one's lighter, but these three definitely are around the same tone. So then it's time to add in a bit of depth with some dark and a bit of pop with something a bit bright. Okay, so starting with a central, I'll say favourite colour, because that is one of my favourite colours, as are these browns and creams, and I like these as well. I love the dark brown, but I much prefer these more neutral ones nowadays. In my older age, things have changed. Okay, so this is essentially Isabel's blanket without the dark one. And I do really enjoy these colours. I love the blanket I created her, and she loves it too. That to me has a very eucalypt vibe. Maybe this one needs to be a bit toned down, but this gives me gum leaves, and that makes me really happy. So here's another blanket that I made, choosing one colour to start with, and it was this sandstone colour. This is a Stylecraft Special DK. It's called Sandstone, and it has, if you can see, a brown and a whitish kind of variegation to it. And I hadn't used any up, and I thought, right, better get moving on that. So what colours do I put with this? I go for a matching brown, another version of brown, then I bring in two lighter neutrals, then another strong colour. Here we go, I'll move these down. Another strong colour being this copper, and a bright colour being the gold. So they are the colours I used for this blanket. And you can see that I've got a common theme going here. Start with what I love, add to it what I love, bring some neutrals in that just calm and soothe, bring in a bright or more like a strong colour and a bright colour. Let's do one more blanket. This blanket also was made just because I needed to use up the colours. I'll talk more about that in a minute. So what I chose, again, was a colour I had a lot of, and it's this dusty pink, which is a really nice colour. What's it really called? Pale rose. So then I added to it, of course, a mocha brown. Then I found something else that looks nice together is grape. Then I added something a little bit brighter, which was the blue. The cream came in to make things pop. And I did use a Stylecraft green called Sage, which I no longer have. So this is a Yarn Smiths one, and it's very similar. So that's the rationale behind these colour choices. Blankets I made like this one that aren't really me were done essentially to use up yarn, because early in the piece I had gone crazy buying yarn on sale at Lovecrafts, and back then I didn't really think about or probably know what my favourite colours were. So I bought a whole lot of yarn, and I still have some left that I'm trying to use up, so that what is remaining then is just the yarn colours that I love. Here is another blanket made in colours, basically to use them up. I mean, I really do like them, probably not this one, but I just had yarn that needed using. That's my favourite parchment. There's a warm peach. Can't remember the name of this pink. It's sort of got a hint of lilac in it, bringing in a warm goldy colour and a crimson. And there's one other colour that I no longer have, being this one. It's like a lighter salmon colour. So that's how these blankets came to be. The base colour for this vibrant vintage cowl is my beautiful parchment. Then I was able to add what I felt were quite vintage romantic colours. Let me just grab them for you. Please excuse the rough looking balls. They've had a rough life going in and out of shelving all the time. But these are the colours that I've used. And I'm going to pop a slide up after this with the name of the colours written down, as I know that some of you are interested in it. The blanket turned out absolutely gorgeous, especially with that beautiful border. Look at that. I'm still in awe of this one. Because I usually make blankets in girly colours, I thought I'd do a boyish colour for this sampler blanket. And this one is screaming out to me to have this medium blue, which is storm blue, as its joining colour. Either that or the gold, but I feel like the gold's going to be too much. So I think this will look really good as a just, middle of the road, but yet still has enough depth of colour to be noticed. That's how I think about these things. Sometimes you need to use home decor as the base for your colours. Now this one I wouldn't actually make for myself, but I want to show you what I would choose. Immediately is my parchment. You're going to be so sick of hearing about parchment by the time I'm finished. Then I would choose one of these two greens. Now I'm unsure, probably that one. Orange is nice and easy. Then we have a deep red, and we have a blue. That to me actually in real life needs to be a bit more of a turquoise, but I don't have a colour exactly alike, so I would go for storm blue. Now they're the colours I would use. I actually don't particularly like this lineup, but I think I could do something with it if I used a lot more of the parchment in it compared to these other colours. That could really work. All right, I'm going to show you one more. Take a good look at this cup. I've chosen colours from this cup, and let's see what they end up being. Here's the colours I've chosen from this cup. And again, they don't look like something that I would normally choose. However, I can see merit in these ones being my random colours. I know they're not random because they've been chosen, but to me, it screams a random blanket. The pattern and the colours on the mug looks amazing, but to me, this is just too much. But others of you would look at that and just know exactly what you would make and how you would feel about it. So we do have those internal differences, don't we? And it makes it hard because there's not one rule that works for all of us. You can either purchase or make up your own yarn pegs that you can play around with and help you to decide on your colour placement and choices. The same with making up little squares in the colours that you're going to use. you can fiddle around with colours and placement as well. You can play with colour charts, not only to figure out colours you might like to put together, but to figure out what are the colours that really make your heart smile. I can just scan over and feel, I'm feeling this Grecian gold. That feels good to me. So take some time to think about how colours that you look at make you feel. Another way of knowing whether your colourway is going to make you happy is by doing up some little samples, joining them together and see how they make you feel. If you would like to use an inspiration picture, Pinterest is your friend. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Pinterest or not, but look it up in your app store and let me show you what it has. It has so many inspo pictures and oftentimes has the yarn colours and the brand as well. So that is super helpful. There's lots of Stylecraft ones here somewhere. I have seen them somewhere. But you could just spend hours scrolling through this and you're bound to find a colourway that you're looking for. Not only do they have those inspo pictures, they have oodles and oodles of colour palettes. This one's showing you warm, cool, soft, modern, powerful, futuristic, showing you all the different themes. But again, you can just scroll through and tap on these beautiful earthy neutrals. Aren't they lovely? All sorts of things, just all sorts. Whatever you can imagine, it's there. So if you don't know about Pinterest, run over to your app store. It's a free app and I'll put the spelling up here on the screen for you. I have two websites to suggest to you. The first being Attic24. Now this one has pages and pages and pages of beautiful patterns, of yarn and colour assistance. You only have to look through here. And this lady does a lovely job of creating colourways from inspiration pictures. The next one is the Patchwork Heart. This one also is the exact same thing, gives you lots of patterns, lots of colour and yarn inspiration. It's just overwhelming how much information there is, but you've got lots of times with cup of teas. You can sit down now and scroll through. In amazement, you'll be in awe with what you find. If you're not ready to create your own colourways, you can purchase yarn packs in various different colours. I know brands such as Paintbox, Stylecraft, Fiddlesticks, Colour Crafter, and I'm not quite sure about Yarnsmiths, have lots of beautiful colourways put together for you to purchase. When you're on the website trying to purchase yarn colours, one of the little tricks I do is I put all the colours that I think I want in my basket, then I have a look. I've popped some colours into my basket and look at this, there's only 11 to choose from out of 91 colours. That is amazing. So many people must be knitting and crocheting nowadays. Anyway, we go to our basket and then I scroll and have a little look and see what I think about the colours that I have. And you know what? That's not a bad colourway. Look at that. So that's how I can also utilise what we've got to work with to choose colours. So if I really don't like one, I shall remove the item. And then I'm looking at these four and think, yep, I really like that, I'll buy them. Or I might feel like they need something else added to it, and I'll go back and pop a few more colours in and have a little play. Now I have another helpful trick. Just type into Google, Easy Crochet Random Stripe Generator. We'll press on that. This website helps you choose the stripe numbers in your blanket, the colours and the blanket sizes. It has a video to show you what to do. Go past that one and we can go straight to, that gives you all the sizes of the blankets. This stripe generator even tells you how much yarn you need of each colour that you choose. So let's do a quick one. Okay, we've got 1, 2, how do I get pastels? 3, just go on it. 4 and 5. And let's see what this ends up like. So I press generate and there's my colours. So if I want a different version of this, press refresh and it gives you a different one. So you can just keep doing that until you find one that you like. Isn't that amazing? You can have a whole lot of fun with this one too. That might help me with my problem with random. I've just solved one of my own problems. All right, there's one more. Now this one is an app that you need to download. It's free. It's called Crochet Studio app. So I'll tap on that. Crochet Studio. It is amazing too. Let me tell you what it does. That's all different yarns of different brands that you can choose from. Righto, this app, it helps you create a colour palette. It helps you match yarn to an image. It has inspiration palettes. It helps you make a granny square colour chart and also a stripe generator. So how's that for amazing and free? I'm going to try with choosing a palette this time. Let's do soft. All right, let's go with that one. And generate squares blanket. Randomize, make some magic. And there you have it. There are the colours in the placements that you need to use. Is that not amazing? Let's go back to striped blanket this time. I'll go randomize, make some magic, and there we have it. These two, this app and the website could not be any more helpful if they tried. It's been a long video because it's getting dark now, but I have tried to explain how I go about choosing my colours, and I've also added in a whole bunch of handy hints and tips that might make choosing colours a whole lot easier for you. All right, I hope this video was really helpful, and pop on, use that website and that app, have a play, look through all the yarn websites too, because there's so much inspiration there to be found. I will see you all soon. Take lots of care. Bye for now.